Start the music. All good stuff here. I'll turn the camera and I'll say, hi, welcome. You've probably clicked on a silly thumbnail and have no idea what you're watching. My name is Max. I'm a storyboard artist in Los Angeles, and I'm doing a personal venture to make a bunch of Zelda fan art while there's still time. You know, there's a movie coming out, and I'm quite anxious about it. If it's not done right, it'll make me unhappy. I'll be quite disappointed because the potential there is so great. And part of this project is to prove that and demonstrate, well, how would I handle some such things? I am a storyboard artist. I specialize in advertising mostly, but also video game trailers, so I'm well versed in how game properties are notoriously difficult to adapt. If we switch over to this, you'll see I'm well underway with a lot of different pieces that are already done or in various stages of being done. That's an old school Moblin. This is Link taken on two Stalfos. Ooh, with let's not forget the cool Beamos up there. And these are all drawn by me on the stream. I've been at it several months now. In fact, coming up on 1 year. Although I haven't been coloring them for a year. There's a series of 24 black and white compositions that I've been more or less challenged to render in color, and that's the attempt right now. Get them all to color. What if I could do that? I'm a black and white artist doing storyboards, so making anything in color is color's one thing. Finishing something is quite another, and I'm teaching myself how to do both. It's been quite the elucidating adventure. Jules, long time no see, or feels that way. You caught me. For anybody watching this as a VOD, there's also a chat. There's a chat here, and my good friends pop in to encourage me along. So, hi Jules, how you doing? So there's how this one's coming along. I think this is the latest. Jules, I used to like to try and watch the VODs. I'm trying now at the top of the VODs to do this, where I'm actually addressing the camera, in case there's new people who click on it and would appreciate a 30-second or more intro into what the heck they're looking at. Okay. I'm glad you're okay. I'm very sick. Not like in a worry about me sense, but in a I sound sick and I probably look sick. And it's good to be busy. I've been extremely busy too. The whole week for me was absolutely dominated by a car commercial that needed my attention. They needed me. Their need was so great, and they had to pay me overtime to work on last Sunday and then again to work this Sunday. And I've done a very long week, even for an artist. And it's not like drawing a lot is particularly hard for me. It's not to flex, but it is something I'm used to doing, and I know that I can do, and I have methods to help prop me up, basically. So I just load up my music and sit down, and you know, for me, if I sit down long enough, you'll get a drawing either way. So then the challenge is really just sitting down. Okay, let's see here. What was going to come next? We need fire lighting on a lot of what's happening here in the background. That's needed. It doesn't have to be crazy. We'll just get something there. Maybe the ground could get lit first. What's the color of the ground? And then, do I remember how much light we add to it? I should be trying to remember to put these lighting layers on their own layer, because that's something I'm trying to do now. So that's funny. That's such a pale pink, but I got it plenty bright, and I added plenty of orange to it, so I think this is close to the right color. It looks better on this monitor than it does down here. Oh, the perspective is all whacked though. Making it too raked. Jules, I hope you're busy with good things like school and not busy with terrible things like, I don't know, terrible things. So this is interesting. I might have to blow my nose in a second. The mainly school. Okay, good. Hold on. I'm gonna have to duck away a second. I'm back. That wasn't too bad. Okay. Alright, let's ignore the ground for a second because I'm actually not sure if I want to do something like... back in the day, I was just watching this film, this classic 90s film, action film, Demolition Man. What a film. Really good stuff, and you know, why is it so good? Why? Well, I think in some ways it was the light. They definitely did a great job of here we go. Okay. They did a great job of using light to craft the emotion of the scenes. You know, lights coming from everywhere, doing everything we need them to do, and really amping up the intensity of the action. And it was sort of the kind of lighting that you that if you stop to think about it, you're like, well, that's ridiculous. Why is there like a strobe light coming from that corner? That's a strobe light. And then there will be like a spotlight that's like waving through like smoke or something, right? Here we go. Demolition Man. We all love this film. Stallone, Snipes, about a dystopian future. This movie was prescient in many ways. Early Sandra Bullock, can't beat that. Wesley Snipes, one of his greatest roles, absolutely. Lighting everywhere. Steam, anywhere you could put it. And in one of these scenes, they had a real fun amp of action. It was early on, and it was the main bad guy. This won't spoil anything because it's in the first 3 seconds of the film. The main bad guy has these drums of kerosene or gasoline. He set a booby trap for Sylvester Stallone, and when he busts in to rescue the hostages, the place is flooded with gasoline. Or kerosene or something. Anyway, it produced a really awesome slick on the ground that also caught the light, caught all these reflections in the light. It looked amazing. Well, anyway, my attempt here is to think about whether or not there can be good excuses to have the kind of materiality of reflection. And I'm not saying we've got gasoline on the floor, but depending on how you choose to view it, you know, these old... If you've ever been to the Parthenon and the ancient Greek Parthenon, for instance, the marble there that people walk on, because it's old and ancient, it's incredibly smooth, and therefore reflective, basically, is what I'm saying. So what I'm ultimately getting at is there could be a cool reflection of, like, this. If this was a reflective ground surface, we would, like, probably somewhere around here see, like, the reflection of that giant blast of flame happening. Like that. You know. Would that be better? Would that be worse? Would it be worth having some of it? It's just something to think about. Obviously, that's a sketched in version, but I think it stands to reason. Might be something, you know, and I could do it on a separate layer and try it out. We could experiment together. That'd be worth doing. It wasn't in the original composition necessarily, but it didn't occur to me then. I'm realizing my brush is too big. No harm there, but fix it now. Just thinking about where the light can hit on this wall behind the statue, because the statue is going to create its own shadow, and where there's a shadow, we're not going to draw the light. The absence of the light will be the shadow. I might have used the wrong color, because I assumed that the ground color was the same, but it isn't. It's a very bad sin. Yeah, it's very much a different color. But, because we used my cool new approach, I wonder if we can just do this. Filled it with a different color. It's a subtle difference, but to me it's subtle. To everybody who's not colorblind, they can probably see what I just did. And for the uninitiated, these are mostly Zelda, fan-created Zelda tunes. What the heck? Love it when that happens. Okay. Hopefully it's back. Well, we'll see how it works. Oh, nothing. Just my AirPods deciding to have a existential crisis midstream. It's okay. Can you hear me okay? Jules is subtly reminding me to save by reminding me of her presence. So everybody save your work. Thanks for joining, Jules. You feel bad about missing so many. That's okay. I feel bad about missing so many too. I haven't done any for the past 5 days or so. I've been sort of unable to break away from my work commitments, unfortunately. That's okay. It moves slow. It's like one of those slow-moving boats you take from like one sleepy island to the next that smells of kerosene. And like, you can get bored as hell, so you jump in the water and you're like, oh no, the boat is leaving without me. But it moves so slow you can just swim and catch up to it. It's easy. And if you do miss it, there will be another one coming along. I'm a little bit having mixed feelings about putting this light up here on the wall. I'm not saying it doesn't look good or can't look good, but it I'll say this, after having not done this in a few days, feels like I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So, because it's a little silly, like, yes, the light is there, but it's not going to be as bright way up here as it is down here. And that's okay. We'll correct for that in a second. And then the other factor is, of course, the pretty much the entire thing is going to be covered up by smoke anyway. Smoke and dust and such. But I want to think about the light. And doing this is like that exercise, you know, you're thinking about it. You might think the wrong thing. But that's part of thinking it through, you know? I learn a lot when I make mistakes, so. Making mistakes is a great learning tool. Your incompetence is your greatest asset when you're learning. And it's a little silly, but what happens if we... Because I was just talking about how the light would never be this bright way up there and stuff like that, but... Because here's what we can do is take a big eraser and then just gently tap. Not all the way, but, you know. Take it from maximum to minimum. And there's still something there. Still makes a big difference. Maximum, max light, max layers. I think my wife is home from Pilates. Let me go greet her at the door. I'll be right back. All right. Yeah, it's interesting. After doing all that work, what you do is you sort of undo it in a way, but that's the max process, max inefficiencies. The more you think about the light and what it's doing, the more real the scenario can become. And then what follows is then more and more logical. And it starts to reinforce itself. So here again, we've got these. Now this we did last stream. Zooming in here. This is a bit of quick firelight I did on this statue. But now that I've made the light on the wall as bright as it is, this isn't bright enough. So what can we do? Well, we can... I thought doubling it would do a lot more than that, but there we go. Quadruple it? I don't know. Still not bright enough. Probably not ideal. But let me take a little bit of... Whoa! Brightening it here just a little bit. Seems justifiable. The point is to keep it dark enough so that it doesn't compete with the light. Let's try that and then compare. Is this brighter than this? Nope. But it probably should be. Or the other stuff gets darker. So maybe the other stuff just gets darker. Because I don't want the light reflections on the statue to be more eye-grabbing than what's happening here on Link in the hand. They can be cool details, but they can't be out of proportion. I'm a little bit suspicious that some of what's happening here is that we've got, oh yeah, still not bright enough. Well, what I'm okay doing here now is just adding a little bit more light to the like a highlighted portion. All right, adding light. Now this has already been lit a bit, but add equal amounts just to make it brighter overall, and then add mostly red and some green. And that'll be an orangey tint to a bright color. And that'll get us here in this sort of somewhat neutral but trending towards saturated orange color, which should be about as bright as this thing should get, probably. And we'll just put it where it needs it the most, at some of these places where the light would catch it the most, or the surface. Using the light to sort of mold the geometry. There. I like it kind of uneven like that. That's kind of cool. And we're adding the light to everything before we add the atmosphere, because you can't paint on atmosphere once it's been added. It'll be weird. It'll be a weird thing where you're sort of seeing it through filtered colors, the effect of whatever you're painting. So, I mean, maybe there's a method, but I don't do it that way. So this is cool. You can see the effect of that light on and off. So if we turn off the fire and we turn off the fire light, you sort of become... it's just cool to see that effect. Okay, now back where we started. How do we get the effect of the fire light on the ground? And the more and more I've been painting, the effect of the light sort of sets the boundaries on the color and the brightness and the saturation of the fire itself, because that was not necessarily perfectly set how it was. It might be something better left to another stream, but I'm okay. I am just silently twiddling with things, but the intent is to make it so that the light is there and it's not like the fire needs to be there, but it also shouldn't be, and it's bright, so it's like the source of light. Hold on, I need a tissue. Here we go. Can't be something that feels like it leaves no room for the attention being anywhere else. And it has to feel like it matches okay the effect that it's having on the environment. I want the effect to feel natural and balanced. Let's make sure we didn't go too far, because I don't want it to be Fire needs to be brighter than the object that is catching the light of the fire. Otherwise, that would be the light source, right? And preferably, that happens by a wide margin in some cases, but it actually all depends on the composition a bit. Or like the exposure, really, right? Let me get a little firelight on the ground, and then we'll call it a stream. Hey, buddy. My kids are waking up. Take this color, which is already having the effect of light hitting it from other sources, the ambient blue light. We do our little calculation. Gets us in the pinkish realm. We'll keep it subtle on the ground. We don't need to go crazy. Cuckoo crazy. More subtle than that, yeah. And then around these bits of fire that have caught whatever these are, like formerly burnt out bits that are still smoldering or something. Could be some light catching around there. Around the edges of these rocks. Bits of shit that have fallen around. Can catch on any discernible groove and bump on a seemingly flat surface. A little save work. Oh, I should have saved a different version. Oh well. As long as we keep it subtle, it'll kind of look amazing. think where it gets sort of right about here. Would definitely catch a lot. Now next time we're going to cover up all this hard work with like dust and smoke and stuff, but it's still fun to think about what we've learned. My kids are being super cute today, but it's a today is a little less stressful because it's a holiday here in the United States. It's Veterans Day. So they don't have school. I have work, but they don't have school. It's Independence Day in Poland. That's very cool. Happy Independence Day. Happy? Hopefully it's a happy Independence Day. So that then you don't have school. Or do you go to school on holidays? Yeah, okay, cool. After 123 years after World War I, I'm quite the I don't have a I don't have a good brain for retention. However, the of like dates and stuff like that. However, the events of World War I, World War II, basically the whole world is still reeling from all the crazy stuff that happened well over 100 years ago, and most people don't understand that, and it's sort of hard to necessarily grasp that the immensity of all the things that happened. But obviously, you know about this stuff. In America, we mostly live in bliss. Not in bliss, but the sort of a sense that Europe was in turmoil and then we saved the day or something. You know, that's like the narrative. It's like, okay, yeah, but what happened? You know, why did these things happen? And can we prevent stuff like that from happening again, please? Sort of kept pretty ignorant, unfortunately. But I'm glad you live in a free country. I guess free is a relative term, especially these days, but It's a pretty cool world we live in where people across the entire planet can connect and learn from each other, right? You wouldn't call it free there, I understand. Well, I think some people would say the same thing about the States these days. That's a little silly, but just goes to show that it's relative, I suppose. I mean, how does healthcare work in Poland? Is it just provided by the government, for instance? Because here, you know, we're free, but you're free as long as you work. And make enough money at working. If you're not free, or sorry, if you're not working a pretty good job, it's kind of shitty. You can do, you know, there's plenty of mobility, but there's a lot of sort of like, well, you'll have to handle that on your own, won't you? Even if it's impossible to. The healthcare here is good if you can, as long as you have access to it. But the having access is a little bit. It can be something that is it doesn't feel accessible sometimes. Feeling much better about the colors that we've been using to bring that light in. So Jules says people who work pay like tax for healthcare, so you can get healthcare for free, but it's shit and you have to wait a long time for an appointment. So people who can afford go privately and pay. The private pay exists here too, but it's not it's astoundingly expensive. I don't know what it would be like in the like for the medical stuff that happened to my daughter. Now we had insurance, but the sticker price for it, like what you would have paid out of pocket, was it was something like $3 million. So like, now it was like great healthcare for what it was. It really like, it was like something out of Star Trek, but it had that like Star Trek budget, you know what I mean? Yeah, I've heard about healthcare in the US. It's one of those things US is most known from. Yeah, like I would never like say like my daughter had bad healthcare. Like that's not what happened, but it is something that if we didn't have insurance for it, they would have they wouldn't phrase it this way, but ultimately the government would say, okay, well then we'll liquidate your assets and use that to pay your bill, you know, how about that? And so that would have been something that, like, we wouldn't be in a house because they would have took our house and stuff like that. So yeah, so you can get the healthcare ultimately if you need it, but it's just going to cost you everything. Or you have insurance through your work, or you have what we call Obamacare. But right now, Trump wants to repeal that, but he doesn't know what he wants to replace it with, if it's going to be anything. There's a huge slew of messes. And so what's happening to me now is I have a doctor's appointment on Wednesday, to follow up with, you know, various things. I feel healthy in general, so it's nothing an emergency. But in January, our health insurance is going to lapse. We're not going to have it the way we did. We have to do something different, and it's never been more unsure for us. So, sort of a very, very mixed bag. Very mixed bag of freedoms and also the price you pay, I suppose. It's nothing I'm excited about. We'll be okay, but nothing but grateful for where I'm at. Oop. Like, medical tourism is definitely a thing, and so if you need a procedure here, but your insurance won't cover it, you go to Mexico or something like that, and it's probably not a bad option. But yeah, not a hallmark of a great system necessarily. The tech here is amazing. The stuff they used to help my family was amazing. But it's not a guarantee, and it's tricky. You know, we were lucky to be able to get what we got. Okay, I feel like this is a good place for me to finish up, and let's do a quick save and do a quick thumbnail, and that'll be that. I'm proud of myself. Oh shoot, am I bleeding again? Yeah, things are saved. I keep, from my injury a while back, my knuckles are still healing. Probably, you know, because it's right on my knuckles. Anytime I flex my hand, they sort of get a little cracky. I'm constantly washing my hands so they're dry. And that's okay. Here, let's do something cool, because this will be a fun... We do this. And crank the brightness and contrast. We can see how the delicate balance and relationship of the colors, because we took the time to not go too far and not go not far enough, how some of this stuff is really working together and looking awesome. You know, something like this, it's quite eye-grabbing. And we can play with it more and, you know, get the effect that we really want, subtly adjusting for things. But that's just playing with the relationship that we have here. It's like we took the time to balance it right so that it feels like it's the situation is real, and then it's a matter of exposing it like photography and getting the levels right. Okay, we can turn that off and do a thumbnail. It's everybody's favorite part. Okay. And a lot of my thumbnails are goofy. Goofy, so I'll just do like a... a little bit like... Anyway. Alright, that'll be that. Okay. Have a good day. Thanks to anybody else who's listening, and adios. See you next time.